Good afternoon, Patriots, and welcome to another edition of Quarantime. As always, I'm your host, RP, and joining me in the studio is my good friend and co-host, M3. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming today. We've got a lot of interesting things to discuss. Let me tell you, some really great stuff has happened. Incredible news. Hello, Michigan. Hello, Connecticut. Hello, Wales. Hello, Oklahoma. Hello, Baltimore, Maryland. Hello, Huntsville, Texas, Space Coast, Chicago, Minnesota, Alabama, California. Craig Mason's Reasonable Conversation channel, here we go. Thank you to my mods. Thank you to my mother. I'll tell you that story. Appreciate you, Mom. Thank you to my lovely lady, Real Red Pill Girlfriend. Look at that. Over 2,000 people in the chat, you guys. Please consider liking and sharing this broadcast. Help us break through the algo. Thank you for being here, you guys. Hello from Sweden and Scotland. Truly worldwide patriots here, you guys. All right, you guys. Thank you so much. I love you. Appreciate you coming here today. 754 likes, over 2,300 people. If you like this show, it is probably one of the best pieces of support you can give us. Please, everyone, do sit back, relax, grab your popcorn, and we'll be right back after a brief word from our sponsor. Franklin's Finest Coffee is the first ever emergency survival coffee with an actual up to 25-year shelf life. The kit provides a 1-year supply of flavorful Franklin's Finest coffee for one person. It's conveniently packaged in 12 resealable, 60-serving, heavy-duty 4-layer zipper pouches for a total of 720 servings. It's all packaged in a rugged, water-resistant bucket for easy storage, and Franklin's Finest Coffee is the ultimate survival perk, especially for those that drink coffee on a daily basis. Or you can take it camping. It's 100% Colombian, and it's also the perfect item for barter or trade in an emergency. You'll thank us later for that tip. As Benjamin Franklin said, among the numerous luxuries on the table, coffee may be considered as one of the most valuable. It excites cheerfulness without intoxication, and the pleasing flow of spirits which it occasions is never followed by sadness, languor, or debility. I love me some coffee. I keep forgetting to bring my bucket up here so I can show you guys what it looks like. It's literally a 5-gallon pail filled with coffee, individually wrapped coffee. Methods, how are you today, buddy?
I'm doing good, Red Clone. How are you?
Clone.
Hey, what's up, YouTube chat? Hope you guys are doing well.
Never live it down.
Right.
So here's the story. Here's the story, guys. I woke up at 9 a.m. I let the dogs out. I had been up late working on a special project, which I can't discuss at this moment, but I will in the future. And I said, you know, I can go back to sleep until 10. That's fine. So I set my alarm, or so I thought, and then I went back to sleep. Well, if you were watching the other night, you saw that I got an alarm that went off at like 10 p.m. and I had neglected to delete that or make it a.m. So my alarm was set for later on this evening. So my mom, God bless her, she comes into the house at just after noon, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I just jumped out of bed and immediately got in the shower and then started prepping for the show. I made it, but just barely. I appreciate everybody who is here joining us. Methods, how did you sleep last night?
I slept like an infant, dude. It was great. I'm ready to rock. Got up this morning and I was like, all right, it's good time to go grocery shopping. You know, it's kind of a ghost town there. They actually had toilet paper, so, you know, I'm already winning. And, you know, I get back to all this crazy news going on. I figured I could sneak out for a few hours, and I come back to all this stuff. And I'm still getting stuff sent to me right now.
Good stuff. Beautiful. Right. Hey, we need to say hi to John Smith. Happy birthday, John Smith. Anybody else whose birthday it is today? That's that. Happy birthday, John. I hope it's a great thing. I also need to say thank you to my viewer, I don't remember your name in the chat. I have your full legal name, and I don't want to dox you. Sent me this little guy. It is the Vapresso Swag. It is a nice little vape. This is perfect for me on the air because it's not too big. It's also great for walking the dogs because it just slides right into my pocket. Need to say thank you for that. Also, this beautiful Trump 2020 pin right there. Also, a Trump Pence pin right there. Also, a Trump 2020 dollar bill. Dollar bills, y'all. Look at that. Read it and weep. 2020 is just around the corner. We're here. And also, I got myself some new Trump Keep America Great 2020 bumper stickers. One of those will go on my car. But wait, we're not done yet. Is that backwards? There we go.
You had it right the first time, so that's cool.
Trump 2020.
That's
Trump
backwards.
2020. No more BS, it says. I just realized that for the first time.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
No, man, that's awesome. That's definitely awesome.
So cool. So cool. Let's see. Daddy Crab says, you are the real red pill. No fakes. That's right. No, I just have a clone that I sometimes bring out on accident. Tony Animal 1 says, I guess I'll kick things off. Thank you for that, Tony. I appreciate you, buddy. Also, Ginny has joined as a member. Thank you for that, Ginny. And yeah, but I just want to, so look at this, you guys. It's so tiny. It's got a little screw cap that comes off. And I got to, these are the same batteries I use in all of my vapes. It's green, obviously. That's why you can't see it. But it just goes right in, and it's very convenient. And yeah, I'm looking for the information in the chat to see who sent it, because I don't want to say your real name. But Sarah P also says it's my son Mason's birthday. He's 11. Happy birthday, Mason. Hope you're watching the show. This is a great show to watch, and hope you're hanging out with your mom too. Take care of her, okay? So, the story of the day, the most important story that we have to discuss, is a story that we can't directly talk about, okay? You guys remember what happened to HRC and the DNC? Remember when their personal communications were intercepted by probably Seth, and then they were handed over to a journalistic organization? Well, something similar to that has happened. Think about the situation we find ourselves in now. There's this large international organization devoted to your health and well-being. Okay, it's a 3-letter word. Who could that be? I don't know. You guys can figure it out. I got to let the dog in.
Right. And also, while he's explaining this, think about what the Susan Woj whatever that runs YouTube, think about what she came out and said yesterday about what she's not going to allow to be on this platform, any information about this company. So that's why we're doing verbal judo around this stuff to make sure it's okay. But go ahead, bud.
Yes, so the CEO of this platform came out and said that if we talk about anything on this platform that is in direct conflict with anything that this global organization has to say, then we'll get our videos deleted. So slow the chat even more. Okay, we're at 180 seconds right now, but I'll do more, babe. I love you. Okay, let's try that. So we can't come out and say something that contradicts anything this global organization has said. So we need to be very careful. Well, they have a patron, somebody who was the CEO of a large tech company. We'll just call him Bill. Okay, so the foundation that Bill runs, and this global health organization, who you might know, they're in contact with another, and then there's another person who's an artist. Her name, we'll call her M.A. Okay, those are her initials, M.A. Now, she's famous for a type of performance ritual
She's got a lot of spirit to her.
Yeah.
And she also really enjoys cooking.
That's right. Yeah. She could have her own show, just about cooking and, displaying all of that spirit. Very spirited. So let's say that all three of these people are in contact. This organization A, who you might know, this organization B, which Bill runs, and then person C, who is the cooker. So they're all talking. And how do they talk? They talk by email. Well, somebody got into that email and published the information online. The information contained therein is devastating to the narrative that we are living right now. We can't talk about it on air, but we're going to publish it on Twitter, and we're going to direct you guys to where you can read about it. And then many, many people can go ahead and discuss it, and hopefully this is going to be covered by President Trump and the Patriots rather soon, because it's something that's very important. So, all right, good stuff. People know. Yeah. And
we got a very smart crowd, and I think you handled that quite well. We were discussing like what movie references we can make to kind of still talk about this. But I got to shout out the research team that right now, as we're doing this, have been working on this for hours, and they're collecting all said information and organizing it and stuff. So whether it comes out through social media platforms or gets dumped on Acorn or whatever, this information is going to be out there, and it's already being taken apart because as soon as this broke in the middle of the night, Night Shift took care of it. But yeah, shout out to everybody that's working and organizing that information while we're doing the show. We really appreciate it.
Yep. The information contained in those communications is going to rock the world, and I think it's going to have a major impact on what President Trump and his organization have to say about the origins of the situation we find ourselves in. Sheila Garrett says $10 in honor of Nashi. Berserker Bear says gravy coming, popcorn. And Diana Gardner, thank you for that. Oh, Danielle Battle also says, I have the same flag. Awesome. Well, we can all display our flags proudly. President Trump and the Patriots are saving our great land. The first little other bit of additional information we want to talk about, guys, is Hannity's conversation with Laura Ingraham last night. Press 1 in the chat if you've already seen this, but I know that there's going to be at least a couple people that didn't see it. Pretty interesting stuff. We know that Hannity was wearing that Punisher pin recently, and he showed up. This is just when they were doing the handoff methods.
Right, yeah. I mean, they do that little banter moment when they go from show to show at night and stuff like that. So, yeah, it was during that time.
All right. So, yes, people have seen it. So let's talk about it. Sean was wearing his Punisher pin again. Laura wants to know if she can get one. Well, Sean has a reaction to her talking about the pin, and he kind of brushes it off. He says that it's a theory, that he doesn't need to deal with crazy theories. Now, we're going to play the clip, and then I want to give you guys my interpretation of it.
People will have all these conspiracy theories. It's the Punisher. It's a Netflix series, and it was a movie. I just liked it.
Can you send me a pin that everyone will talk about, please? I need some kind of pin.
I'm reading all this stuff. I'm like, no, it's not a secret signal to people.
Do you have a secret society you want to fess up to right now, Hannity? There's some super secret decoder ring that you. Is there an odd?
As if I don't take enough crap from the New York Times and company.
When you show up with other pieces of jewelry, we'll just keep this going. We got to keep it going.
I don't wear jewelry. I have broken fingers from my, punching and kicking.
Are we going to go through that again? The true
Punisher.
The true Punisher is Hannity. If you go after him from the New York Times,
watch the Netflix series. It's amazing.
Punisher. All right, Hannity,
it's
great
Marvel.
show.
Spider-Man, 1974, edition 129.
Are you getting a kickback on this or what? What is this? This is Hannity. Send me one of those pins. I like it, actually. Send me one.
People will have all these
conspiracy theories. All right, so first of all, Sean Hannity, he's obviously a comic book guy like me because he knows the first appearance of the Punisher in Amazing Spider-Man. Second of all, let's talk about his reaction. Who is in charge over there at Fox News? We know that there are foxes in that hen house. Paul Ryan. Who else is on there? It was, what's her name? The DNC woman? Methods?
Brazil.
Brazil, yes, Brazil. All right, but most importantly, Paul Ryan. We know Paul Ryan is has some power over there now, and that there is an element at Fox News that wants to get rid of President Trump and his people. So, Sean Hannity, big supporter of the president. Sean Hannity has a huge audience. If Sean Hannity came out and was to directly, talk about the fact that that Punisher pin means something else, he would probably lose his platform. Now, talking about those theories, I think, was a direct jab at the mainstream media, a direct jab at, all the people who are making fun of what's going on right now. Hannity knows exactly what it means. Hannity knows that we know exactly what it means. So that was a wink and a nod directly talking about this. Paul Ryan is bad, Richard Stewart. Paul Ryan is bad, yes. We can talk about Paul Ryan if you want. Blue Mangoes, thank you for that. Dale Burstier says, I can't believe all that Seaspiracy stuff, LOL. And Fred J says, most people, if they're caught, get arrested and fined to write profanity on the walls. Most people, if they're caught, get arrested and fined to write profanity on the walls. I mean, I guess they would. Do we have profanity written on the wall? Nicole Brickner, thank you for joining as a member. So, Methods, can we talk about Paul Ryan real quick? Paul Ryan is not a good dude. Paul Ryan directly tried to stand in the way of the president. Paul Ryan didn't do anything to support the president when he was in power in Congress. And Paul Ryan was also asked to leave Congress. So I think that those things right there point to the fact that Paul Ryan is no good.
Right, and I mean, I'm trying to remember. There's been so much that's happened. Didn't he get caught on a phone call that got leaked about him saying he wasn't going to help out at all?
I'm pretty sure.
When Trump became president, I think that's kind of what started, if I remember correctly. I need to go find that. If anybody can find that, send it over to me on Twitter if you don't mind. Yeah. But I mean, he gets over there and he can kind of control the narrative stuff, and then you see people like Don in Brazil come over, and they're bringing over people that we obviously don't want to hear from. I only want to hear them in open hearings. Yeah. But you kind of see the narrative stuff being controlled in that fashion, and that's why a lot of us do get frustrated with Hannity in general, in the interruption general. But we listen for the host, right, or the guests that they have on, and the information that's breaking with those people, and we watch an hour show for really 3 minutes of quality commentary. So to me, it's one of those the term useful idiot makes me sound like I am calling him an idiot. I do think he is smarter, than that, but he is being used really by both sides. They bring in the people that they know are going to get ratings, the Solomons and stuff, the people that we want to hear talk. But they make sure that they only get a certain amount of time. And then Hannity, you could tell as soon as it starts to go where we want to hear it go, Hannity cuts off, makes a joke, or they stop the time. Sure. So as far as the pen stuff, of course, he couldn't say anything about it. Just like the pen from that conspiracy thing from 8kun. He can't say those things. So I'm very, I don't know. I take it exactly how you said it. Yeah.
Let's see. Baby Love 78 said, when Pelosi talked about stocking up her ice cream and it being her favorite, could it have had to do with code words? What was ice cream for? I tend to think that Pelosi talking about ice cream is honestly, just her being completely out of touch with the American people. That was one of the most tone-deaf things I've ever seen or heard a politician do. Methods, do you think it's possible that she could have been referring to some code? I mean, that didn't even occur to me. I just thought that she is an idiot.
Who's the she you're referring to?
Pelosi?
Sorry.
Nancy Pelosi?
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, she's always reading a script, man.
Yeah.
You could tell that she has to hit those points. When they were saying, well, you're accusing Trump of not taking this virus seriously in January, and that's the problem. Well, what about you? Even when Wallace was asking her, and she's like, no, we were just talking about how, then the race card happens and, all that stuff. So no, man, she's obviously getting her talking points because she can't formulate an idea to come out and explain it to sell it herself. She's got to be handed these things.
Richard Stewart said he bumped into Paul Ryan when I was in Washington, D.C. and shook his hand. He was pretty cool. Make no mistake, I'm sure he was nice to you, but he's a politician, Richard, okay? It's his job to act and to be as cool as he can because he needs people to vote for him. If he was really cool, he would have supported the president. Paul Ryan is a rhino. That's my opinion. I respect you if you think that Paul Ryan is a good dude, though. And anybody here, I'm not going to blame you for liking Paul Ryan. He's an affable guy. I mean, he's got a smile. He's got a bit of a swagger. He speaks smoothly. So I mean, I don't blame anybody for thinking that Paul Ryan is a cool guy. This is just my armchair opinion of watching the results of what happened when President Trump came into office, and also the way he was treated by the Republican leadership before he was elected.
Right. And I mean, come on, strippers are really nice, right?
Oh, yeah. Dude, she
mean?
loves me. Yeah, no. Yeah. I swear she digs me. Fred J was talking about the cooking ritual earlier. That's what it was. Divine Nature Landscape Design, #1 fan. Thank you for that, Divine Nature Landscape Design. Banshees Bane says, Fox cut off Trump last night. I had to go to MSDNC to see the last of it. Wow, that's really frightening. Janice B says, keep it up. EO2 Dave says, yesterday Dr. Birx was having another eye-twitching event when she got on camera. Dr. Birx could be, a bit of an MK case, very possible. It could also be that she's starting to crumble under the pressure of the fact that this narrative didn't go the way she wanted it to. It's becoming more and more difficult to convince people that we need to keep this lockdown going, because clearly the evidence is coming out that it's not what they say, it's something else, but also that whatever it is about or below the same level of mortality as just the regular sickness that comes around every year. Stephanie Sprague says, if you watched X-22 last night, he had a pic of Trump, and Trump had the Punisher pin on. Oh, very cool. I did not see X-22 last night. I will have to check that out, see if I can find that. Melissa Charba says, God bless you, Red Pill and Red Pill girlfriend, for all you do. Go get that girl and never let her go. Baby, I love you so much, and I will never let her go. Let's see. Venom Splat says, do you like your new vape and flag? Yes, Venom Splat. There you are. Dude, I love the new vape. I love the flag. I love my pins. I love my Trump 2020 dollar bill. And I love my Trump Keep America Great 2020 bumper stickers. I'm going to put this bumper sticker on the wall of the bunker back there. Let's see, I'll put it right there. Okay. Then Fred J says, I was talking about, Miss AB, MA, excuse me. Sue Randall says, Trump posted a political ad showing her and people struggling for comparison. I think that's a perfect time for us to watch that ad. Yeah, because we were going to do that. Let me just get this pulled up here. Now, this is really an indictment of her and her character. So President Trump released this campaign ad yesterday, which took segments of her appearance on that James Corden guy's show and overlaid it with segments of real Americans struggling, talking about how they don't know when they're going to be able to eat next. Where is the paycheck going to come from? Basically what is happening for a good portion of the country, people are suffering, and she is a tone-deaf person because she showed all of her favorite gourmet ice cream on television, and then you've got people all across the country who just don't even know if they're going to be able to keep their homes. So we're going to go ahead and play this ad, guys. I'm going to make it full screen. And
while you're setting that up, yes, we plan to go over the hot mic situation that happened. A lot of people bring it up in the chat, so we got to make sure we make time for that.
Yeah. So it's a hoax? Yes, we're going to talk about it.
We turn now to that $350 billion fund to help small businesses and its workers get through the shutdown.
It will be up to Congress to restock it.
But Democrats blocking that move this morning.
They asked for $250 billion in 48 hours. I said, well, I don't think so. They objected, and I congratulate the Senate Democrats.
Speaker Pelosi, what are you going to share with us from your home?
Chocolate candy.
Thousands have been forced to wait for hours at food banks all across the country.
This is chocolate, and then we have some other chocolate here. We just got it restocked, the ice cream.
You don't want to eat up everything all at one time.
I can't do it much longer. I'm trying so hard.
We were, shall we say, enjoying.
Having to admit that, super starving, and
I like it better than anything else.
Taping this segment, there are 22 million people out of work.
This specific program is about stopping job losses today.
This is hurting people bad.
Other people in our family look for some other flavors, but
Right now, it's survival move. You don't know where that next something else is gonna come from.
I don't know what I would have done if ice cream were not invented. I just wonder.
Making the comparison to Marie Antoinette, let them eat cake. Nancy Pelosi is let them eat ice cream. Blocking funding for American small businesses, blocking funding to support the American public while she sits in front of her $25,000 double commercial fridges, eating her Talenti gelato, sorry. And the rest of America is forced to go to food banks, forced to depend on the kindness of their neighbors, churches, their family. But Nancy Pelosi gets to eat gelato because she doesn't have to go to work. Well, Nancy, it's your job to support the American people, to make sure that funding in a situation like this is available so that people don't end up without food, don't end up living on the streets, and don't have to worry about where their next paycheck is going to come from. Why is Nancy Pelosi still getting paid? Nancy Pelosi's lights are on, but her and her husband are dirty, okay? They've been siphoning money off of the American public for decades. Nancy Pelosi is a disgrace, and I really hope that this ad has a major, major effect on her ability to continue to be a lawmaker. And I know that, aren't they trying to strip her of the Democratic leadership position methods?
Well, yeah, no, Trump had mentioned that that could happen again, or, you know, her being voted out.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that advertisement is such a level of savage that needs to happen. We all talked about it over the weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
How dare she film showing her freezers and ice cream and all this stuff while withholding money and all that stuff. So I'm so grateful that the advertising side, you know, the Scavino and that whole crew is doing such a killer job at because that advertisement puts things in context.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to a lot more of those happening throughout the rest of the year, because it's going to happen. And hopefully that motivates others to make their own. Like, I think it'd be really, really cool to see some of our people like Laura QAnon, I think is her name.
Yeah,
she makes great videos and stuff. I'd love to see her put one together. You know, of course, we've got soul memes and Something Wicked and all that stuff, but to make our own and put them out there, because showing their bias like that, it's very crucial, very important.
I need to say thank you to Sue Randall again for that. X-Man Teef 1, thank you for that. Was that you? Says, has anyone seen the petition on change.org about Nasara Gassara? I have not. Jordan Brown, this is for the clone red pill. Misty Mountain Cop 95B, thank you for that. Patriot Drummer says, Dave put the pin on the pic. Go look at the footage of Presser. Oh, Dave created the picture? He didn't. Are you saying that Dave faked it? The Mikado 16 says ice cream has to be a code word. She likes chocolate. You know, I saw people saying that in the chat. Think about those emails that were released and hot dogs and hamburgers, or excuse me, hot dogs and cheese, or I can't remember the names. But the names and the words that was used in those emails were like known code words. I've never heard that ice cream was a code word for anything. It's possible. Maybe she is pointing to something and we just don't know what it means yet. But I also do think it's very possible that she is just absolutely that out of touch. How could someone in her position, who is responsible for, helping create legislation to save the American public, not realize what a tone-deaf move that was to show herself in front of all of that expensive ice cream and gelato, and not realize that actual people are starving and actual people don't know where their next paycheck is going to come from. I think that she really is that out of touch. She sits on her golden throne in Washington, D.C. And then she goes back to her gated home in whatever. She lives in San Francisco or something like that. I think Nancy Pelosi really is that tone deaf. And she's also probably got some form of, brain pickling from her alcoholism. Thank you to Mikado and X-Man Teef. Tina May says, love you guys. Have you seen the new studies, 3 that I saw that came out this morning regarding percentage of random people with antibodies and a mortality rate of less than 0.25%? Well, that's another excellent segue.
Well, right before we do that, since I had brought up Scavino, it was just reported and going out that he got promoted.
Who did he get promoted to?
He went from social media director to deputy chief of staff for communications.
All right, good stuff.
Shout out to Dan Scavino for that. That's awesome. Good
Congrats, Dan. We're proud of you, buddy. So yeah, let's talk about this this article here from LA. So, and then this will dovetail us into the hot mic situation.
Well, we got 5,700 people in here. I'm looking at 1.9 thousand likes. Thank you guys for all hanging out. And also a thank you to everybody that's shown up in my PayPal. I love all of you.
Yeah.
Go ahead, man.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you supporting. So let me get up this article. So they've been doing a lot of testing in LA County, okay? And what they found is that greater than 400,000 people already have the antibodies present from the sickness inside of them, which means that they've come in contact with it, and either they're asymptomatic or they are immune. And there was an additional study which showed that, it's 4.1% of people have antibodies, and that translates into a mortality rate based upon the number of people who have died of less than a quarter of it. It's like a 0.1 to 0.25%. So a very, very, very low percentage of people. This is less than the regular, sniffles that we get every year. Absolutely a hoax, which is perfect timing for the hot mic situation. Methods, you want to cue this one up?
Right, yeah. I mean, we always try to hunt down the hot mic situations of those things because you catch some things at time. Like the time that one reporter brought up how the anons, using a better term, the anons will freak out hearing about this when they were talking about Epstein. So we always try to find those nuggets, and obviously this one was a good one. So you got it queued, bud?
Yeah. So actually, DeGros Bluge says 0.02 death rate. The flu is 0.01. Okay, so it is just slightly greater than the regular sniffles that we get. But so here we had a hot mic at the presser. John Roberts comes in and he's talking to somebody who's wearing a mask, and he tells him, "Hey, there's no reason to wear that mask." Let's go ahead and get this queued up.
What's up, Barry?
All right, man.
What do you know, babe?
You can take out the mask, Doug. The case fatality rate's like 0.1 to 0.3 according to USC.
Is it really? That's reassuring.
USC.
Everybody here's been vaccinated anyway.
USC and LA County Public Health come out with a study. They found that there's 7,000 cases in California, but they really believe that there are anywhere from 221,000 to 442,000 people who were infected.
Really?
Yeah.
So that makes it 0.1 to 0.3? Does a study to give out with or?
Yeah, just give it to that. So it suggests that the case fatality rate is about 10. It seems to be.
Wow.
Which puts you right in line with the flu.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what it is.
Puts it right in line.
So it was a hoax.
Oh, shoot.
I don't think it was a hoax.
So it was a hoax.
I don't think it is.
So it was a hoax.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So it was a hoax.
I don't think it was a hoax.
Well, there you have it. The other thing that really stood out to me there is that they said everybody here has already gotten their shots. Okay, so that means that they probably had some experimental preventative medicine for it that they gave everybody that's coming in to the White House and to the press office. and they've already gotten their shots, so they don't worry about it anyways. But that's not something I want to take, me personally. But the biggest thing is, go ahead.
Can you go ahead and drop that link in the chat? Some people can't hear as well. I mean, we've got headphones in and stuff like that. But if you could drop it in the chat a couple times so you guys have it for later, and you can share it all you want to. It's already all over Twitter, but
there you go.
Since we brought it up here tonight. But yeah, I mean, that just shows that a lot of them obviously know behind the scenes about what's going on, but then they go out and say these things. When they get their media attention, spotlight time with the president, they sell their narrative, but then you kind of get to hear them behind the scenes. So it's always good to listen in on the hot mics, especially when you got a moment and you catch it to see what they say. All
right. So somebody said that he might have meant tested, not the big V word. I don't know what he meant, but I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if there was an experimental thing that they were giving people. Mohawk Girl says, how did they get the big V? There's no V. I mean, there's nothing that's been approved yet. Think back to Gulf War I. They were giving our soldiers big Vs for things that hadn't been approved yet, anthrax and such as that. Let's see. Need to say thank you to Banshee Bane joining as a member. Appreciate that. Trevor Sanyon says, hey, you. Thank you for that, Trevor. Baby Love says, at Amsdave said that ice cream equals the big V in gematria, and then tied that to the hot mic incident. That is very interesting. Praise and Joy says, hi, Methods and Red Pill. You guys are awesome. You helped me red pill my hubby. Where we go one, we go all. Well, Praise and Joy's husband, we're glad to have you on the team, buddy. Glad you're here. Son of a Green Card says, ice cream in rap music is a reference to is a reference to the crack. It's a reference to crack.
To the crack.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you're so old, man.
Yeah. But I mean, the thing is, I can remember the epidemic in Los Angeles in the 80s. I remember hearing about it.
Somebody get him fresh tennis balls for the walker. Go ahead, man.
Be Lucky says, hey, Red Pill 78, grab a 4-pack of Q Spectacular tonic water and split it with Methods. Low in calorie, made with quinine and agave. I actually think I've seen that at the store before. Enjoy. Thank you. Misty Mountain Cop 95B says, name of the ice cream should be the first clue. Kim Jong-un. Talenti is the name of the ice cream. But wait a second, there was multiple types of ice cream in there, huh? We're going to talk about Kim Jong-un too. Jeff George says, letters in the ice cream, Dove D, Jenny's J, Tahini T. Red Pills Warhawk says, armchair opinion, Paul Ryan is fake. Watch the video of him and Steve Scalise, SP, after Steve came back to DC after getting blasted by Bernie supporter. Dude sucks at acting. Yeah, I mean, I tend to believe that too. I mean, Paul Ryan probably thought he was going to have to help get somebody else for Steve's seat. John Asturia says, have you seen the White House petition to investigate Bill Gates Foundation for fraud and corruption? Over 300,000 out of the needed 100,000 signatures in a few days. That is incredible. I have heard about that. UK are about to trial, the big V. No talk of treatment. I'm angry. Chris, I'm so sorry, buddy. If only you had the same type of health services we have here. I know that they're probably rushing to put that stuff on the streets. Misty Mountain Cop 95B says, now that you have the name of the ice cream, use gematria. Okay, we'll check it out. And then Mohawk Girl, again, thank you for that. Baby Love 78, Pelosi called it the flu, Freudian slip for the big V. It's possible it was a Freudian slip. Divine Nature Landscape Design has joined as a member. Thank you for that. Jammer drops a hammer. Don't be a sheep, be a sheepdog. Good advice. X-Man Teef 1, $5 per minute. You played Trump's Bible .urpp at Red Pill 78. I don't know if I quite understand that, but thank you, appreciate it. Shelly Bayless says, seems like nobody talks about HCQ and Z-Pack anymore. Only either Quarantine or the Big V. What's up with that? What's up with it is that you can basically completely do away with the sickness if you're using the HCQ and the Z-Pack. They don't want to cure it. Those pills that they have to take are pennies. Okay, it costs absolutely nothing. There's no money in it for these manufacturers, but for the Big V, there is a huge amount of money, because when they create the Big V for whatever the sickness is, you know who buys it? The federal government buys it, and then they push it on the people. So they can make, they get paid back for all of their research, they get paid back for all of their manufacturing, and they make a hefty profit, okay? And I bet you it's going to be the kind of thing that they're going to say you have to take every 5 years or something like that. Maybe every 2 years, maybe every 1 year, all right? But that's where the money is. Shelly, again, thank you. Son of a Green Card says, John Solomon just dropped that Dems and GOP have reached an agreement to fund the small business loan program. Hallelujah.
Yeah, that needs to happen for sure.
Yeah.
I dropped the tweet once I saw it, and thank you, Son of a Green Card, for that.
Appreciate
I
you,
dropped it in Discord for you to just have, even if you use it for a show later. But yeah, no, that's great. That's got to happen, because isn't that what's kind of holding up some of even these Trump checks going out, right? Didn't they run out of the funding on that?
No, they haven't run out of funding on the Trump checks. What I saw actually a story on a channel that I watch. I can't remember. I Hypocrite. So apparently in like urban areas where people don't have bank accounts and they did their taxes at like, you know, like a checking, or what is it called? I don't know, like a Liberty tax or something like that. You know, I mean, whatever it is. Those people will get like an advance on their tax refunds, and then the check, or not the check place, but the tax place will keep a small percentage of it. So they just have the refund from the federal government deposited into the business bank account, and they give people their refunds immediately as soon as they do their taxes. Well, you got to think how many thousands of people in different urban areas have done that. So the government deposited all of those stimulus checks into the corporate bank accounts of these tax places, and then the people all showed up to get their refund checks, and they were unable to because it's kind of like held up in the process. So people have been very, very angry about that. Keystone Channel says, thanks, you guys. Dr. Rashid A. Battar, invite him on. I'm looking into it right now, actually. Mohawk Girl says, why don't they give us HCQ? People were cured by it. Why don't reporters ask that? We can go back to work and people won't die. Trump takes it. Yes, that's exactly what we should be doing. But you have to remember, the press is not in this for our best interests. They are in it to destroy the reputation of President Trump. They are in it to destroy any gains that he's made in the economy and any positive things that we have going on here in America. The HCQ Z-Pack method would be a no-brainer. They've got that medicine. It's already been created. Certain places are getting stockpiles of it. The federal government is stockpiling it right now and trying to get it to pass out. But that is not where the money is, guys, and that's not where the fear is. If they tell us we have to wait until the big V is available, then remember Dr. Fauci saying 18 months. We had all those people on MSDNC and other mainstream channels saying 18 months. They want our country locked down for 18 months. They want all of us to go to the poorhouse. They want everyone to run out of money. They want everyone to have their homes repossessed, and they want people rioting in the streets, angry with President Trump, and they're going to blame it all on him. I totally forgot to mention, Methods, did you see last night President Trump did the executive order suspending immigration into the United States?
Right. No, that's fantastic. And I mean, I'm all for coming here the right way from, any country. If you're vetted, merit system type stuff, I'm all about it. But you don't need it happening during this time. That also protects us from any other type of FF situation going on during all these things. Because you notice as soon as they were starting to talking about opening up Texas, the bus thing happened with the guy stealing the bus and running down the bridge with it.
Yes.
Chaos happening. And that to me would be something definitely on the table, because they need it to look like, well, under Trump's reign as dictator, this is what happens. But we as big government, who's been giving you these checks because they seem to put want to put their stamp on it, they want you to need big government and think you need it. So like, to all your points about they want to keep you afraid and all those things, so they are the helping hand, and that's what's kept them in power for so long. And so we definitely need to be not having any immigration coming here, at least for the time being. I think is a very smart move. It's unfortunate to those that are wanting to have their family move here. They were planning on it, and then this pandemic happened. And now it looks like it's going to be stopped for a while. But I think it's a great move.
You guys, for anybody who didn't see this yesterday, this is a link to the IRS where you can check on the status of your stimulus check and give them additional information so they can get it out to you. That is now in the chat, okay? That's going to go in there. Now, also, let's see. Now, hang on, I forgot where I was here. Mohawk Girl again, thank you. Patricia Furlong says, so much is happening. X-Men Teef 1 says, PayPal. Oh, PayPal. Trump's Bible at Educating Liberal Channel. Okay, I got you. Okay, thank you. And then Leslie Bergay says, if they are still processing your tax refund, they are not giving you the stimulus yet. And that's correct. They're going to give it once they're done processing. But what I was talking about was people whose checks, whose refunds have already been processed and who didn't have a bank account to have their refunds direct deposited in. These tax filing places will give you an advance on your refund and give you the money right then minus a small fee, and then they get your refund direct deposited into their bank account. And for the people who did that, the government accidentally, because they didn't have another bank account to direct deposit, they put it into the corporate bank account of those tax refund places. I saw footage of people just mobbing tax refund places because they were so upset. Mike Q says, sending everyone love and light in Jesus' name. Keep up the hard work and keep fighting, everyone. God wins. Hi, Simone. Come here, honey. The Greatest American Revolution says, can you give a shout out to my newly red-pilled hubby? He's a 7-foot-tall retired basketball player and now a Red Pill 78 fan. The world's about to know. Mr. Greatest American Revolution and former basketball player, like were you a former like NBA player or just a former casual basketball player? But I'm glad that you're here. Welcome to the show. I don't know that much about sports, but I would still like to know if I've got a former NBA player watching or even just a 7-foot-tall person. That is very, very tall. Crashes82 says, hoax video was a vaccine commercial creating false scarcity so us plebs would want one too. They knew we would spread their message. I'm not interested in a vaccine. I don't think any of us are. Laura QAnon. Hey, Laura QAnon. Hi, I'm trying to red pill my husband and the whole Chris Cornell and Chester Bennington thing. Do you guys know where I can find any evidence, interviews, etc. about the documentary? Thanks. I know that I have at least a couple of videos about them and that situation in my playlist. So I know if this is the same Laura QAnon from Twitter, I'll see if I can't find it and put it out on my feed. TT says, when's arrests happening or some concrete like that? Well, that's the thing. We don't know when it's happening. I mean, I can only tell you that I have complete faith in the fact that it's going to happen because we've got 165,000 sealed indictments. I mean, those are tied to someone who did some criminal activity who's going to necessarily need to be arrested. So unfortunately, as I always say, this is not happening on our timeline. This is God's timeline. Many of us want this to happen right now, but we just have to allow it to happen in the way that it must. Justice, the wheels of justice move slowly, and they move especially slowly when they are moving legally. Okay, when you see stuff just like whipping along, and people get just everything wrapped up like this, like Roger Stone. Let's say Roger Stone. Roger Stone went from basically being charged to being sentenced to prison time in a matter of months. That's not normal, okay? It's not normal at all.
Well, and even to that point, because I know that we wanted to at least cover this today, Trump retweeted Greg Jarrett.
Yeah,
and the headline was talking about the indictments that Solomon was talking about.
Yep.
So the fact that Trump had no problem, and it was just that headline. So that is something that at the very least he's trying to keep it in the public conscience, and also letting people who might not be paying attention at all, hey, by the way, the president is pointing to the fact that there are indictments coming.
Yeah.
So it was definitely very interesting that he did that, and that screen cap was sent to us by Champs, FTW Champs. So I just want to make sure he gets credit for it.
Yeah, thank you, Champs. Appreciate you, buddy. So you can see here, Greg Jarrett's article, more Russia Spygate indictments coming this week. Okay, President Trump retweeted it. Why would President Trump retweet something like that if it wasn't going to happen? All right, and then we have the actual article from Greg Jarrett, and that's the title of it. It says, there's not going to be a lot. Don't expect 10 or 12 indictments, but there could be a handful of indictments and much more information. Now, remember, our favorite Anon gave us 6 placeholders, 6 names that are probably going to be indicted. Watch out for those, okay? I would imagine they're going to go for the biggest ones first. they would have to go for those big ones first, because then everything else would fall below that. And the actions of the people who worked for them would then be called into question. Thank you, TT, again. Brutus DM says, time for this little Moloch to go to work right now. All right, well, just be careful when you're there. Infidel Green and Lower Norwood have joined as members. EO2 Dave says, I thought I heard the Dems boosted the bill from 300 to 700 billion, so look for loads of pork for the slush fund. Man, I'm so tired of the Dems. Gino says, IRS.gov site hasn't worked for me or anyone else I know. Has it worked for anyone in the chat? It worked for me. Fat Boy says, is this where I can be heard? Neil Cavuto just did a story on how HCQ doesn't work. Neil Cavuto is a hack. I don't know why he would say that, okay? We have all kinds of research. We have all kinds of physical studies that have been done. We have people who have been completely alleviated of whatever sickness they had, including a Democratic senator from the state of Michigan. If that's not good enough for anybody. HCQ totally works, you guys. If anybody gets sick, talk to your doctor about HCQ. Van Yoga Finance says, Fauci may be holding Trump hostage. He may threaten indirectly additional attacks if Trump does not push the vaccine. I don't think that's the case. As I said before, I think that Fauci is a useful idiot that President Trump has near his side, so that people, the bad guys in the cabal, they see that Fauci is there. They think that Fauci is going to be directing Trump. Trump already called out Fauci for lying to him about the 2.2 million. Okay. President Trump knows exactly who Fauci is. All right. And he's just a polite guy. He says what he needs to say when he needs to say it. And he likes to keep the bad guys thinking that everything is going their way, when in fact they're going to step on a banana peel and everything's going away. James Dalton, thank you for joining as a member. Diana Davenport, good to see you. It says Trump started his own vaccine task force for EO on September 19th, 2019. Yeah, President Trump, isn't he looking at the risks of the big V? I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Cool Flame says MMS is chlorine dioxide. They are our new government studies showing is doing the same as HCQ. It's water purification. Yes, I'm familiar with it. They took a video down by Jordan a long time ago, enabled big MMS, biggest FU to pharma. What else does it cure? Lots of things. And I've read a lot about it. I've seen lots of videos on it. I actually have some downstairs for water purification because I'm a camper and a hiker. Patricia Furlong says, I am Digital Warrior on Facebook now. All right, you guys can follow Patricia Furlong on Facebook. Stop and Smell the Roses. Food-grade hydrogen peroxide. It takes care of everything. Look it up. Oh, and black sesame seeds. Huge. Oh, and I love Red Pill and Team. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate everybody. Yeah, hydrogen peroxide, food-grade, super concentrated hydrogen peroxide. They've got it at the health food store around the corner from me, and I know people who swear by it. I think a dog just came in. I just saw the screen move behind me. Okay, so the next subject we were going to be discussing, guys, that Washington Examiner tweet methods. You want to set this up?
Yeah, let me go grab it real quick.
Okay.
But yeah, we got 6,600 people here. Make sure you click that like button if you don't mind. Yeah, let me hop over and grab that real quick.
Come here, Muffy.
Because there's a lot of stuff that we... Okay, yeah, basically what's happening here is that they are doing their attack on Barr. We know that's coming. We knew it was coming. Our favorite Anon pointed to it. Lisa May had made the connection directly to the post on her page. I don't have that handy, but if you guys want to see what we're talking about, it's over there. Lisa does great work. But the quote here is that Mr. Barr's misleading remarks appeared to have been aimed at justifying the president's retaliatory decision to fire Mr. Atkinson. So the fact that Trump fired Atkinson, the IG, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Atkinson, Schiff and Nadler are going after, they want a review about Barr, and they're obviously going to move on to try to remove him, do the investigation stuff. They're going to tie it to Durham.
Mm-hmm.
So they're kind of already setting that stage. So it's just as expected for them to go after Barr because Barr is their nightmare.
Yeah, Bill Barr is going to topple this entire house of cards. And why Bill Barr? Because he's the head of the Justice Department, okay? The Justice Department, we're going to have a return to justice here in this country. And if that doesn't happen, I know many of you are going to be extremely upset. People are not going to stand for corruption in this country any longer. It's just not going to happen. And the only reason it's taken so long is because they have been doing their darndest to make sure they put together all of the evidence showing what these people did. They have to make rock solid cases, guys. They can't just rush in there and do it willy-nilly. It's got to be done in an orderly fashion. Need to say thank you to Sky Dancer. He says, free Flynn, patriots protect patriots. Where we go one, we go all, 100%. Jordan Brown says, ice cream might be code for achrome. Maybe. I saw somebody say in the chat earlier that ice cream is a code for a male companion that you pay a fee to hang out with, I guess. Navy Vet Lady says, nobody puts Trump in a corner. Nobody puts baby in a corner. Trying to keep the faith and patiently wait for justice. Thank you, RP and M3, for all you do. Love to all patriots. Yeah, you guys, I just want everybody to be, confident in the fact that President Trump knows what he's doing. I mean, so far, they haven't been able to do anything to shake his tree. They haven't been able to do anything to derail us. The investigations have still been taking place behind the scenes, even though the country is shut down. These people have a sense of safety and security when, in fact, they are next on the block. All right? This is happening. They're not going to get away with it. It's really taking place. So with that in mind, they want to go after Bill Barr because they know that Bill Barr is the key to all this. Bill Barr running an honest Justice Department is going to be their undoing. So they can't have that. They can't have that. Now, let's see. Joe DeGenova had some choice words to say about Adam Schiff and Susan Rice. He called Adam Schiff, where is it? I'm sorry. One of the most evil and disgusting human beings. And Susan Rice knows she's in the crosshairs. They both know what they've done, and they are definitely in the crosshairs. The Greatest American Revolution says, after playing in college, he played at FSU and then mostly overseas in China. LMAO. Hey, man, it's good money, right?
I mean, no, they really, really love basketball in China. They really, really do.
That's so funny. I'm glad he made it back okay.
Right.
God's Daughter, thank you for that. Bun Rab says, you need Dr. Judy Mikovits as a guest. I'll tell you what, guys. Dr. Judy Mikovits is going to be on the program on May 9th at 9 p.m. I haven't announced that anywhere yet. I just finalized it last night. She has worked with Fauci, exposes him. He has threatened her, exposes info about the sickness, and says, do not wear masks. Well, very interesting. I actually have a copy of her book, and I'm going to be looking through that later on today.
I had a lot of people over the last few days say that you should have them on or we should have her on. So that's great. I'm really glad that you got that finalized.
Yeah, it's awesome. Kimberlyn says, hey, M3, this is an and one for you guys. You can explain it to RP later. Love and light to all. And one, that's like a basketball thing, isn't it?
Yeah, man, it's sport. I'll send you a YouTube video explainer.
Okay. Luminous Light, thank you for upgrading your membership. I appreciate it. So tell us, what's the thrust of what DeGenova was saying here?
I mean, he's just saying that the reason why they're out speaking out on Twitter or they're going on all those stupid mainstream media channels, they're out there talking all this trash because they know that it's kind of like they've decided to do the offense. Like in their heads, they're doing offense. They're going out and showing this confidence on the radio and all that stuff. So to me, I think Joe D is just pointing out the fact that they are nervous because Durham would have to investigate what they were doing as well. Yeah, Doggo ain't doing so great, huh?
No, they're getting excited because they know that it's almost time. Oh, Muffin, come on, go on, honey.
Poor Doggo. Well, yeah, I mean, but Durham would be talking to absolutely everybody involved that would have had, involvement in the collusion narrative, the Steele dossier and all that stuff. So of course, they're all nervous.
Read this from Casey Walden. I'm sorry, but sitting back and thinking the government will take care. Oh, hold on. I want to read it, Wheezy. Will take care of you is pure stupidity. Hold on. I want to view it. And get up out and exercise your rights or lose them. Stop being a bunch of panty wastes. Well, Casey, you're wrong. I'm not saying that a government is just going to take care of us. We are exercising our rights and our freedoms right now. And we are all preparing for something to take place. This is not just waiting for the government to take care of us. We have all had an active part to play in everything that you're seeing right now. This movement is responsible for the very justice that we are about to see. Okay, if it was not for us helping President Trump get into office, if it wasn't for us supporting President Trump in his mission and also calling out all of these people who broke these laws and who tried to destroy our country, then we wouldn't be in the situation we're in right now, watching and waiting for this to happen. It is not just us sitting back and resting on our laurels. We have had an active part to play in this. Now, exercising your rights is one thing, but calling for armed insurrection is an absolute another. I absolutely realize that if this doesn't happen, people are going to be up in arms. Make no mistake about it. But I am of the opinion that we won't have to be. We got to this point after all of those years of being completely controlled and held down like sheep. Where were you, Casey? Where were you over the last several decades? I'd like to know about that. Well, here we are now, and it would be wonderful if you could join us in what is taking place, because this movement is about to set this country free. Real quick, Stephen Holbrook says, hey guys, thanks for the awesome work as usual. I'd really like it if you could interview Bernie from Truth and Art TV sometime. I'll go ahead and talk to Bernie. We'll see what's going on. Bruce Wayne says, do you think Kim Jong-un got the crud, the CV-19? We'll have to see. We're going to talk about it at the 6 o'clock show. Was that you? Has joined as a member. And Red Pills Warhawk says, amen, brother Red. That's right. That's right. We are all well aware of the situation we find ourselves in. And I would say that right now, more than any other point in our history as a nation, we are closer to being free and to winning. So thank you all for joining us. Methods, thank you for being here with us.
Of course, man. A passionate Red Pill is the best Red Pill, right, chat? No, I love it, man. That was very well said. I couldn't really add much to it. But yeah, thanks, guys, for hanging out with us today. We had a lot of fun. I mean, this was our newest record, right? We had about 6,700 people hang out with us.
Yep.
You guys are fantastic. We hope you have a glorious day, and we'll be right back at it tomorrow.
And Sean R11 says, bipartisanship in Senate regarding Russia collusion aided Trump. Who are these Republicans? They don't exist, probably. Okay, it's another lie. All right, guys, thanks as always for joining us. We'll be back at 6 p.m. for the regular daily news roundup. As always, this has been Red Pill 78. Good luck and God bless.
Much love, everybody.